your back. Yonder they flail it. And oh, my people, they do not love your hands. Those they only use, tie, bind, chop off, or leave empty. Love your hands. Love them. Raise them up and kiss them. Touch others with them. Pat them together. Stroke them on your face, because they don't love that either. You gotta love it. You. And no, they ain't in love with your mouth yonder out there. They will see it broken and break it again. What you say out of it, they will not heed. What you scream from it, they do not hear. What you put into it, nourish your body, they will snatch it away and give you leave-ins instead. No, they don't love your mouth. You got to love it. This is flesh I'm talking about here. Flesh that needs to be loved. Feet that need to rest and to dance. Backs that need support. Arms, strong arms, I'm telling you. And oh, my people out yonder, hear me. They do not love your neck unnoosed and straight. So love your neck. Put a hand on it, grace it, stroke it, hold it up, and all your inside parts that they'll just as soon slop for hogs. You gotta love them too. The dark, dark liver, love it, and beating heart, love that too, more than eyes or feet, more than lungs that have yet to draw free air, more than your holding womb and your life-giving private parts. Hear me now, love your heart, for this is the prize. And ashe to our ancestor, Toni Morrison, for holding those beloved words. And we'll just take one deep inhale through our nose, filling up the boundaries of our skin, and exhaling, grounding ourselves softly. And so to love ourselves and to love our hearts and our bodies. So we have herbs, and so I'm just gonna go over the herbs as we are talking about the ways in which, and we are doing this work, Divine Spirit has provided us all the things that we need on earth to do this work. And so another way we can do that is through the plants that we have, right? Through the plants, through the foods that we eat, they can nourish us and hold us and sustain us because Divine Spirit has said so. And I think that is the beauty of doing that. So you can come closer, if Sandra has come closer. So I'm often, I think as we are thinking about plants, maybe I think I'll give everyone time. And even for those that are online, if you have tea at home or that you are able to just go and, boil a cup of water and then just whatever tea you have at home, sit with it, be with it. That is also being with plants and being with earth. So, and also it's for this time period we're in, right? So we are in the dead of winter, right? Things are, I would like to say they're sleeping, they're finding their way, right? Until they start blooming, right? They're in their own season, right? And so in winter, our bodies cool, right? And we have to find ways to warm up our bodies and find ways how we do that from our center. And the center is through our sacral chakra, that is below the navel. And we have to heat ourselves up from the inside out. So how do you do that? And how do you take care of yourself in this season? So a plant that you can use is mint, right? I'll pass it around for you. So mint helps with our immune support, right? So it's a lot of, yes, hold it. Yes, Sandra's in it. Hold it, smell it, be with it, play in it, whatever you want to do with it. So our bodies are so easy to catch cold, right? And so many things, right? And so many germs are out there. So it helps boost your immune support, right? It helps with digestive relief. That's also help with when you're eating, your digestive system, your core has to heat up, right? So how do we support the digestive lining? Wow, I really know a lot. Okay, I'm impressed right now with myself. Okay, and then soothing colds, right? And being able to care for our bodies, care for how do we bring strength back? And a big thing, inflammation in the body. We, as a community, Black and brown people, are very, very prone to inflammation due to high cortisol in our bodies, even the stressors of life, stressors of grad school, stressors of just being human, right? And so how do we can take care of ourselves to decrease that inflammation? My favorite, rose. Smells so good. Oh my God. So, and like yogic, Ayurvedic philosophy, like rose is seen like as a heart opener. So you're like opening your heart. You're drawing your heart forward. And so this is a powerful herb for like vitamin C, also anti-inflammation, joint relief, right? So if you're working out with crankiness in your body, that's really good. And also your skin, and it smells lovely and it's soothing. So when you drink it, it offers this like heart remedy. Some people say drink it if you're heartbroken, right? If you go through a heartache, drink rose. That's also really good too. And then lastly, this is also really good, lemon verbena. And it aids in your nervous system. It helps with your nervous system, right? So our fascia is a connective tissue that connects to our nervous system, right? But also it helps with sleep. So are y'all sleeping? How are you waking up in the middle of the night, right? So that can be a really good herb to include in your bedtime routine. And then it also helps with with stomach aches, bloating, and indigestion. So a lot of you can see the similarities along all of these herbs. A lot of it is dealing with your gut, right? And so your gut, so your gut, it connects to your brain. And so when we're able to take care of our gut, these herbs are saying, in the winter things slow down, but we want to be able to help that process to help it keep going, right? We don't have the lavender. I don't know what happened to it, but God willing, we'll get it back. But so one thing about creating your own herb blend, right? You sit with plants. One of my good friends of mine, she's a herbalist, and she always says, maybe you sit with a plant as long as you need to. So I highly recommend, since it's a short, small group here today, I highly recommend taking a little of each, and then you drink it separately just to see how your body reacts, what comes up. Because with herbs, maybe narratives can come up, stories, and even how your body's responding, right? And so we want to be able to sit with the plants. And sitting with plants means they're going to take their time. And so we want to just honor that. So for those that are online, when you do have the opportunity to come in person, please come pick up some plants. These plants are locally sourced from upstate from a queer-owned farm, and they are held carefully by a dear friend of mine who is an herbalist, an Ecuadorian Mexican herbalist in Washington Heights. So these are all really well cared for herbs. And just as you can drink them, allowing them to sit for about 10 minutes before you enjoy, you can also just make a satchel. We also have satchels, and you can smell it, right? A care, maybe that's like you need a soft reset before you continue your day. So these are all good ways to take care of your body. And so I'm gonna just leave everyone like 5 to 10 minutes. If you would like a moment to reflect, you can just sit, honestly, with this time that we're in of winter, romanticizing winter, deep contemplation. It's like, what are you sitting with? And maybe it's a question. Honestly, a question. What is a question that you're sitting with? You don't gotta have an answer. If there's a question you're sitting with, Spirit is saying, what is the question? And then maybe go from there. So I'll give everyone time to do that, and then allow yourself to make your tea blends. So I highly recommend one of each so you can try it out, even just a cup, just so you can take it and try it out, and then make, if you want a blend with all of them, you could do that. And then we also have the satchels where you can make for your smell, so you can sense. Yes.
How much do you usually put, like, for your tea?
Oh, like a tablespoon.
Okay.
You don't need a lot, but I don't know. I feel like it's all up to y'all. Like if you're like a person that's like you want to smell the aroma, the deep sense, I would say like just do, like that for me would be like a cup, you know, and then be able to purchase. I mean, if I don't know if it's here, but the strainers that can hold it.
We
Yeah.
have some in our office, the little bags that make the tea bags. So I don't know if we can,
Yeah.
we'll have them, okay? Like we'll have them.
But I think having a rose satchel is really nice to have it in your bag, and you can just smell it and it brings you back to life. Yes.
So, like, it's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And maybe we're, like giving a little, I don't know if people are partnered or not, and even if you are, it's like sometimes that brings up a lot of stuff. How would you sit? How would you, I know that you also work with, the body and things like that, so what are some suggestions that you would give? Okay, sorry. I'm going to ask that again. I'm just wondering, since it's Valentine's Day this weekend, and whether you're partnered or not, but, if, how would you use the herbs? I know that you all, work a lot with the body also, and for some of us that may be stressed out or sad, how would you, how would this help?
I think this would help in terms of one, slowing down, just allowing yourself to slow down and to feel what's happening. Something that I am sitting with, or something that in my work is, a lot of us, we pinpoint, go to your heart, where do you feel things in your body? But something to ask yourself is like, where do you feel strong sensations of your heart? Because sometimes what I've learned recently in my own studies, everyone's sensations in their bodies of where your heart is different. Some people may not feel it in their chest. I feel my heart in my hands, which makes sense because the hands are the work organ of the heart. The hands are an extension of your heart. So when you're able to provide or give service or be in community, you do that through your hands. That looks differently for everyone. So it's being able to sit with where is your heart, and then like where in the body do you feel that? And then I think one thing that tea allows you to do, I don't know if there's any coffee drinkers here, matcha drinkers online, but the ritual, right, and moments in which we see divine spirit move is in quiet places, right? And so how do you allow certain activities, right, like making a tea, not just be the end goal, but the process of what are you holding and feeling as you're making the tea, and then as it's sitting, what is coming up for you, and then allowing it to go. So I don't think they teach that at seminary a lot. Not yet. So definitely, and the rose will be so good. So rose in this time, because it's a heart opener, knowing rose is linked to love, rose is linked to, softness, and knowing that this capitalistic time period that is the weekend is not just about the partnerships, but where is love for you? Like literally, where is it? And naming it. Is it in the classroom? Maybe it is in the classroom. Maybe it's in community. Maybe it's with certain people, and being able to name it out loud and name that. And also with rose, I think rose can bring up grief. And I think knowing that grief is with love, and they are a companion. They are a companion. Grief and love are companions. And so how can we hold that too? So it may look differently for all of us. So be with Rose this weekend, everyone. So online, local apothecary, okay? Just type it in Google. local apothecary wherever you live and find some rose and sit with some rose. And sit with rose. I think that'll be really good. That's a good question, actually, during this time period. Grief and love. Yeah. How are the herbs, y'all?
God. Exactly what I needed. I had a very nasty, brutal class.
Would you like to share with everybody or not?
I mean, well, I'm just so grateful for the wisdom you're bringing to us, the softness, the gentleness. I was just in a white feminist space, you know, and where one of the texts was like basically about third world feminism, but that was the one text that didn't get engaged. But we focused on Aristotle and Augustine. And so it was just like, as the professor is saying, we should all feel heartbroken about what ICE agents are doing to people here in New York City even. It's like, but you said that just as casual as the sentence before that and the sentence after. And when you have a text that is speaking about ways of thinking and being that will help us create a more united, loving Ubuntu, I am because we are. It's just like the gaslight is right in your face. And so that, you know, it's getting out of your body. You know, it takes you out of your body. Well, I'm ready to dig into this text. You know, and I did bring up that, like, what if Aristotle's concepts of what they call happiness and flourishment actually was an appropriation of Ubuntu? Because let's remember, he's feeding knowledge. He spent 20 years with, what's his name again? Alexander the Great. So you're saying his philosophies fueled one of the greatest conquerors? And so it's just, that was gaslit, the question. And so it's just, you know, to be able to smell the rose, it just brought all the sweetness back into my body. You know, and I mixed it with the peppermint because, I don't know, I'm associating peppermint with the throat right now for some reason. And so how can I, like, heal the heart but also use my voice as a vehicle for love, even though I'm experiencing this psychological terror in a classroom, you know, of 80% white woman. So it's just very healing. And the fact that I come from that class and this is happening right now, and none of those girls are here, for me speaks to the echo chambers that this institution perpetuates and doesn't do anything to break. So to be here doing this is for me the exact opposite of what I was just doing. So I'm just so grateful.
Thank you so much for sharing. I know it's like, yes.
A union alarm?
Right, exactly.
Is that camera on and stuff?
Thank you so much for sharing. And I think that is exactly why we need plants to ground this back into the why. Because the earth will always be the number one teacher. So I think you were here for a reason to do that. Yeah, I think so. I think herbs have saved me personally. So the land has saved me in terms of belonging, right? We don't feel belonged in spaces created by man, but then we go to the earth and knowing that it's so expansive and it's so queer and it's so just luscious. It's like, oh, wow, there's a God that loved me this hard that was like, I need to give you rose and mint and lemon verbena. Like, okay, that's hot. Like, come on, right? So, anyway, this is not a part of the chapel, guys.
No, but that's what we need.
Girl, that's why you gotta graduate first, and then you come back. But yeah, so I want to just say, like, go back to the herbs. Always slowing down is the way to go. And so I hope these herbs help people. And so come pick up your herbs. They will be here. And then I would just like to close out the space. We'll close out the space with benediction.
May you be blessed. May you be peaceful. May you find rest. May you share love. God bless. Amen. Ashe, ashe, ashe.